Hi! Within this lecture, we're going to exploit another vulnerability called PostgreSQL or PostgreSQL vulnerability. And since we completed this, I'm going to skip this and scroll down for more. And actually, this will be exactly the same way that we have done before. So I believe you can try to Google this on your own and try to exploit this on your own. So I suggest you pause the video and go for this PostgreSQL DB 830 vulnerability. I hope you managed to get it. I'm just going to do the same thing in here. I'm going to run for exploit and I'm going to look within the rapid7.com, within the rapid7 database. I'm going to find the related module name. So if you come here, you must read the description in order to try to understand what's going on in the background. Of course, you cannot understand the shellcode as I said, but maybe you can understand the logic behind it, okay, like we did before. It says in here that this database, this PostgreSQL, actually uses or may use this temporary directory, and if we try to upload some code to those PostgreSQL tables, then it may get run and it may create a session for us in order to hack us into. Maybe you even don't know what term SQL means, and we're going to see that later on in the SQL section or SQL section. Don't worry about that, but just try to understand that this is like a database and we're trying to upload a code in that database, and this will get run in the Linux itself and it will create a session for us. So there are a lot of exploits like this in the real life. You can find one and try to use it in your own way. So let me copy this module name and try to go back to my MSF console in order to run this exploit and in order to hack into Metasploitable machine one more time. So maybe right now you're thinking that, can I exploit every vulnerability on Metasploitable with these steps, with exactly like this going on the Rapid7? And the answer is actually no. Okay, you cannot exploit every vulnerability with an MSF console with a simple module name. And if you just Google the other open ports, if you Google how to exploit them, how to exploit those specific ports, specific versions, I believe you will get some solutions. I believe you will get some results. Sometimes you will have to use MSF console, sometimes it will suggest you to use other tools. But it is actually good to learn how to use this MSF console, so I'm showing you those specific examples. If you say show options to this payload, as you can see, we have now this rhost blank as well. So I'm going to set the rhost as 10.02.5 one more time, and this time we have other username, verbose, and database and password as well, and the port number is 5432 as it's suggested in here, so it's good. And I'm not going to worry about this database and password and username and verbose since they are in their default values. I'm going to try and hack into the Metasploitable machine as before. And here we have the session right now. As you can see, we have a session called Meterpreter this time, and later on we're going to see how to work with these Meterpreter sessions in our post-hacking section. And don't worry about that. If you run ls, you will still see the results, but Meterpreter actually is a great session tool, great tool to interact with the hacked machine, and it gives us a lot of options than before. As you can see, we can gather more data, we can do a lot of stuff like opening the webcam of the hacked computer with meter repeater easily. We're going to see that, but now we have completed this pen testing introduction to pen testing section. Later on within the following section, we're going to focus on how to hack into the systems that don't have any vulnerabilities with using backdoors.